The relationship with my father is not a great relationship.
My father figure was my older brother, but he just didn't know it.
I mean, my father figure was my father. He was in the house. I think the disconnect between me and my father as a young age is that he wanted to protect me and make sure I never made the mistakes he made. In the fear of me failing, his protection became more dangerous than it did become what it was for, protection.
So my father didn't grow up in the best kind of role model as a father, and consequently I think he wasn't the best father for us. I think I didn't realize it as much until I became a father myself.
My father was non-existent in my life. My mother had to leave him at an early age, when I was younger, because of the physical and emotional abuse. So I grew up without a father. My mother did the best she could, but in 2004, I received a call from a woman on the phone that I've never known, never knew, but come to find out, my father died. But amazingly enough, I felt nothing because I had never met this man.
Something that my wife reminds me of every day, that my relationship with my daughters, and I have two, are going to be the basis of their relationship with whoever they end up being with, and that how important that relationship is, and how important to treat them right and treat them with respect and listen to them and show them that they can be loved and appreciated, and they don't have to work for it or behave in a certain way or feel like they're not loved or not deserving of love.
So many things have occurred in my life that are rooted in the fact that my father was not in my life. So the major thing is abandonment, isolation and everything else that comes with that. I sought out many other things and many other people I had this need to fit in, so it was more like an isolation, please look at me type thing. But I just felt so much emptiness with being abandoned by my father. But when I think about it, maybe nobody ever taught him how to be a father, so I released him of that, but growing up, I didn't have an understanding of that.
But the craziest part was the most freedom I had ever experienced. Like that piece, I slept probably the best sleep I've ever slept. Like I've never had that moment of freedom. Now, life will throw challenges at you, and it has ever since then. And there's still things I'm growing from and building from, and I will never stand here and be like, oh, my life's perfect. It's not. Far from. But that moment, I experienced freedom like no other. And it was a very real moment. It was me, God, my true spirit, and my Father, real love. And I told him I loved him for the first time in a long time. And he told me he loved me too. And we've been building ever since. To the point where he's my best friend now.